back. We're talking more fat, liposuction. How are you going to lose that belly that's sitting on your lap? Um, I've been able to hear so many stories over the years, and it's these stories that I've come to crave in that our ability to help people along this path of transformation. And it's been quite a journey, and I've seen people at all points of the path. And because I've been able to see the different points, it's allowed me to take a broader perspective and see the whole picture and have a better understanding of how we get people from point A to point B. And some of the lessons that I've learned over the years from all these individuals was that the importance of doing the little things to live the life that you of the person that you want to become. And so I've used this phrase before, that you have to act as if you are that person already. So the thing that's difficult for people is this individual, this the before picture individual. That person has to start acting as if they are this individual. The after, they have to start acting that way, because even if we do what we do and we change you to look like this after person, if you don't change the way that you think and you don't start acting as if you are that person, which means that you have to start doing the right things, you have to start eating the right foods, you have to start drinking more water, you have to start moving more, being more active. You have to act as if you are that individual, because if you don't, what happens is the things that you do will just recreate the same problems that you had before. And it's that simple. If you want to be something different from that which you are now, then you actually have to change what you are now. And then in the future, things will be different. It has to be. What's up, Jackie? Welcome, welcome. As you guys come in on Facebook, make sure you're hitting the share button. We want to get this information out to as many people as possible. We're doing this 20% off the front of your abdomen sale. So if you're sick and tired of that front of your belly and ready to get rid of it, then this is for you. We do large volume liposuction, help those people who have that big hanging belly in the front, hanging over their pants, or maybe it's so big to the point now that you're covering it up with your pants and tightening down, hiding. These are the people that we can change their life. And so what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for the individuals who have gotten to the point in their life where they're so sick and tired of being that individual who's limited by their weight, whose health is restricted because of their weight, that person who feels oppressed and condemned by those around them because of their weight. So when you're sick and tired of being that person and playing that role of the victim of everything else is against me, when you're sick and tired of playing that person, you're going to change your role, change your mindset, change your beliefs, because now we've had hundreds, if not thousands, of women that have come through, that larger individuals were able to change the way their body shape is. And when it changes the way that their body shape is, they see themselves differently. You start seeing yourself differently in the mirror, and you'll make different choices because of that. And the hope is, my hope is, and I know that the people that do the best are the ones that not only change their body with this procedure, but also go through and change the way that they think about themselves. And if you change the way that you think about yourself, you'll start taking different actions. Again, if you start acting as if you're that person that's thinner, then you'll be able to maintain those type of results. But there's plenty of stories out there. There's plenty of stories where you're going to find that people gained weight back after liposuction and their results suck and they're not happy. So if you're going to be one of those people that don't follow through and do your part of this procedure, because this is a team effort, we both do a part of the team. We take the fat out and you have to maintain it. If you can't maintain it, then you're not holding up your end of the bargain, and we can't expect the results that we would expect. So you see these pictures behind us that these people that have huge dramatic change, they change their life. Some of them don't change their life. And you know what? A year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, the results won't be as good. And that's just real. But you already know that. I'm just confirming that for you. You already know that if you don't hold up your end of the bargain and be responsible for stuff, then you're not going to have what you want. And that's with every other aspect of your life, not just this. We have to take responsibility. Take responsibility. What's up, Sherman? Rosalinda. Amo. Stacy, what's up? Anna. Kathy. April, welcome. Brenda. So if you guys have any questions, but more importantly, like, I know there's a lot of you girls that come to these lives and you show up on a daily basis, and I totally appreciate it. But it's important to me. It's important to me that we, I'm gonna make the impact in this world, doing what I do by helping more people. So the more people that I'm able to take the front of their belly away, and the more people that I'm able to shift their mind to believing that anything is possible, the more people that I can touch with this light and shine it on their whole world, we're going to change things. So the more people that I can be exposed to, the better it is for the world, in my opinion. Now, if you believe that, if you think that's true, then what I would suggest is find the people in your life, and maybe it's only 2 or 3 people that you know that would really benefit from this. Really benefit from this. There's those people that have insecurities, and they're super nice. They're super nice to cover up, right? They wear big baggy clothes because they're covering up. They're hiding. They don't like to take pictures with anybody because they're hiding. They don't show up to functions because they don't like to be around people because they're embarrassed. So these people, imagine you were that person. What kind of life is that? And if you see other people that are living like that, then, and you can help, then you should. And that's all I'm saying. And that's the way I feel. So I'm hoping that you believe the same thing, because if you've seen what we can do with these patients, you've seen the changes that they can make, you've seen what's possible, which most people don't believe unless you see these things. Most people don't believe unless you're able to connect with one of the actual individuals who've had these procedures. Most people don't believe it's possible. Maybe it's photoshopped. They're making stuff up. It's not real. I'm sure you have disbeliefs. There's lots of disbelievers out there. That's great. And I don't have to make all these claims that I do all these things, because you have the ability nowadays to connect with these individuals publicly. And some of them, like Stacy's on the live right now, so you can connect with her directly. But if you don't belong to our private Facebook group, you should definitely jump on the private Facebook group, because it's a place where our previous patients have collected. So, and also the people that are interested in getting the procedure, but it's a place where you can share your outcome, share your concerns, and you can learn from other people, because as all these girls go through the process, they're documenting and writing posts, they're putting up their own pictures, so you can kind of see how they progress through time, and you'll see all the variations in what happens. Because this is not, some of you may have this belief that you just get the procedure and boom, you pop out as a after photo, and that just is simply not the way it works, right? So we take pictures like this. These are progressive type pictures. So you can see that, after, 4 weeks, you're still pretty swollen, and sometimes it almost looks like, you're almost the same size as you were before. But then, I'm not sure how far this was out, but afterwards you can see that, there's the fold disappears. I mean, this is like, if I didn't do this myself, I wouldn't believe it. If I saw this by someone else, I wouldn't believe it, because it's incredible. It's amazing. And I know, when I look at these things, to me, if it's amazing to me, then to you, as an outsider, this could be something that you would think is like, that's impossible. It's Photoshop. It's just one person. It's not. It doesn't happen very often. But that's just simply not true. That would be a mistake by thinking that, because we've had very consistent results in getting these type of results, even on larger patients like this, these large volume patients where their belly's hanging over, you can't even see their underwear beforehand, and afterwards all of a sudden it's like the fold goes away, the belly button changes, everything shrinks up. It's incredible. Now imagine what life is like when you don't have that 20-pound 30-pound belly just hanging in front of you, putting pressure, pulling on your back, restricting you from leaning forward. Imagine what your life would be like. I mean, that changes everything. You can wear different clothes. It's the choices that you make after having a huge change like that. That's where the magic is. That's where the value is in all of this, is the ability to make different choices in your life. Because if you can make different choices, and your life can be different. But so many of us get stuck in these stories that we tell ourselves that, oh, I'm too fat to do that, or I'm too old to do that, or my knees are bad, or I'm too tired, I don't have the energy, or whatever the excuses that you use, and we all use something, right? When we don't want to do something, we'll use an excuse. It's because if you want to do something, then you'll do it, and if you don't want to do it, then you'll make an excuse. And we'll try to trick ourselves. We'll try to make that excuse sound like it's not my choice. I'm not able to do it because of X, Y, and Z, right? And we'll all try and fool ourselves. But when you start taking responsibility for yourself and for your life, that's when everything really starts changing, and it starts getting better a lot quicker. No comments on Facebook. You guys not alive today? Nobody wants to talk. Do I need to lecture? Instagram too, man. So who's ready to get rid of that belly?
Looks like you got a question on YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, wow.
YouTube. It must be. Okay, question on your liposuction. I don't see infiltration, numbing. What's this? The things disappear. Okay, so someone says something about doing the numbing medication a few minutes before sucking out. Why don't you do that, or can you clarify, please? I don't understand the question.
What I'm thinking is that she might be watching some of our lives, and she might not have seen the numbing, the first part of it.
Right. So during our lives, typically we will do the numbing process first before we start the lives. So we're starting the lives after the numbing process is done, after the Smart Lipo laser is done, since the laser is damaging to your eyes, and I don't know if it's damaging through the video, but I'm not taking the risk. I'm not going to risk it for you either. So, we don't do the numbing process right before the liposuction like that. There is a time allowed for the numbing medication to start to work. And in fact, the numbing process itself takes 20-30 minutes sometimes. And so in that time when we started, all of the original stuff is working, getting numb, and then we move around to the next part of the body and numb up the entire area, which takes 20-30 minutes. So it's got time to sit. Then after the numbing process, we'll typically do the Smart Lipo laser, which is less traumatic, less not very uncomfortable. People never complain about that. And there's time for the numbing medication. Look, whether people tolerate this or not it's so variable. It's so variable. And I know everybody loves to see, oh, that person said it was painful, so it's painful for everybody, but it's just simply, that's not the truth. And don't be fooled by that. You see, the people that want to have an excuse to not do this procedure will use that as an excuse. Oh, it's painful. Everybody's painful for them, so I'm not going to do it. And it's because you're scared. And the truth is that you don't know how you're going to tolerate because you haven't done the procedure yet. They didn't tolerate it well, doesn't mean anything about you. So what I've found is the people that allow this pain that someone else had, the people that allow that to stop them are typically the same people that allow other people's fears to stop them in other aspects of their lives. So if you're considering that not getting this procedure because someone else didn't do well with it, then start, having a little introspective view about yourself and see maybe this fear that you have has creeped into other aspects of your life as well and stopped you from getting what you want. In many cases, it's led you to where you are now, which means that the exact thing that you have to do is to face that fear and get past the pain. Because all the people that get this say it's totally fucking worth it. Whether it hurt them or didn't hurt them, it didn't matter. It's totally worth it. Now, maybe there's a small fraction of people that said it's not worth it, a small number of people. But if you want to bet your outcome on the potential of the small number of people, then that's what your choice is. Then it's not going to work out for you. But the people that are able to push past that fear of the potential negative, push past it and be like, you know what? Worst case scenario, it's going to hurt. That's the worst case scenario. Now, best case scenario is it doesn't hurt and I get awesome results. Worst case scenario is it hurts and I don't get any results. But our patients are getting results. As long as you're able to push through, we're able to get results. If you're not able to push through, then it's going to be a struggle and you may not get the results that you're looking for. But that's why you have to overcome that fear. And even if it hurts, just like if you're running a marathon, even if it hurts, you got to finish the race, right? This is your life. Just because you don't like going to work, you want your paycheck, so you keep going, right? I mean, you sacrifice things in order to get what you want. This is nothing new, but publicly people like to make this like it's an issue, and it may be an issue for some people, but it doesn't have to be an issue for you, unless you make it an issue. Then it's an issue. All right. They were asking because of a video of Dr. Klein on YouTube, which I haven't seen that video. But Dr. Klein, interesting thing. This is crazy. So Dr. Klein, if some of you guys don't know who he is, Dr. Klein was the person who invented the tumescent liposuction technique. So the tumescent liposuction technique is to inject this numbing fluid into the fat layer, and it can be done while you're awake, and it only numbs the local area, and so then we can take out the fat. So he was like the godfather, you might say, of the tumescent technique. Now, you might think because he was the one that invented this technique that he would be the best at it, and you would be wrong. So just because he came up with the idea of, how to do the technique, and it's changed the entire industry. I mean, like, life-changing, amazing, and I take nothing away from this guy, but he's not the greatest at liposuction. He thought of a great technique, but he's not the greatest at liposuction. And he's older at this point, so you can watch his techniques and stuff, and it's one person's techniques. I do it differently than other people. Other people do it differently than me. This is why they call it the practice of medicine. It's not the definitive science of medicine. So we're not. There's no definitive anything. All this stuff is technique based. All surgery, for that matter, is technique based. Now, you learn techniques from other people, and then you adapt them to your own body, because our bodies are different, right? So my ability to move is different than someone else's ability. Take, for example, Kale. Kale's awesome, and he's blossomed since I've met him, and he's come so far, and it's really been a pleasure to be part of his progress. But our abilities are different, and one of the biggest differences with Kale and I is I am ambidextrous, so I can use my left hand and my right hand. And so when I'm using the liposuction instrumentation, I use it with either hand fluidly, and it doesn't matter one way or the other. So what that allows me to do, the advantage of that is I can get into, it's easier for me to get into positions that are optimal for the best contouring. Whereas just imagine there's a position that you would want to be coming down with the left hand, but if you don't have a strong left hand, then you have to try to do the same position with your right hand, okay? Which it puts you at a disadvantage. So that's some of the things that I teach to other people is to, and when you use both hands, it's using both sides of your brain, which as an artist, you want to use both sides of your brain to get the creativity as well as the logic, right? So the opposite side of your brain is the logic. And so when you use both hands, it focuses your brain to focus in the middle and use the energy is right in the middle, and you can it's optimal, right? So with the ability to use both hands, it gave me an advantage. So I've utilized that over the years, and it's something that I'm trying to instill on Kale. It's just an advantage. It's not like you can't do it without using both hands, and he's shown that that's possible. But in my opinion, having that little extra thing it's been an advantage for me. So, but everyone's different. So our ability to move is different. See, I think you were great. If I wasn't an old woman. So old is such a relative term, and I hate when people say that. And someone just told me today, like, I'm getting too old, and she was like 47 years old, and I'm 45, I think. And I don't think I'm old at all. So when I hear other people that are around my age calling themselves old, I just call bullshit. I don't think we're old. I think that you've allowed yourself to deteriorate to a point where you're not able to do the things that you did in the past, and when you get to that point, you start to feel old. But I don't feel old because I've been working to maintain myself through diet, through exercise. I'm strong, I'm flexible, I have lots of energy, and all that is on purpose by the things that I do on a daily basis, the basic habits that you do on a daily basis. Okay, is there a weight limit for this procedure? No BMI restrictions. Brenda, info on prices. So all of our pricing stuff, we have our generic pricing structure on the website, so you can check that out if you want. But ultimately, for your specific quote, we need to see pictures of you to figure out what we want to treat and what you want to treat. Figure out what your desires are, and we can quote you specifically on your desires. And so to get those consultations on Facebook, it's up in the post up above, and Instagram you can go up to our profile. These links are also on the website as well at myshapelipo.com. So to get your specific pricing, you have to get a quote so we can determine what you actually need. Okay, I'd like I think she means thighs. I'd like my thighs done with smart lipo. Will this include the inner thighs? Yeah. So smart lipo is definitely is required on the use of the inner thighs, because the inner thighs, as I'm sure you're aware, the inner thighs it's just generally thin skin on everybody for whatever reason, and the thighs tend to gravity tends to start pulling the thighs down, and so you'll get that droopiness. This was Michelle. Definitely, though, I would definitely use Smart Lipo. Smart Lipo is great with the tightening of the skin. So back to the age thing, I'm seeing this, Brenda. So we've had a patient. I think we have video on YouTube of a patient that was like 84 or something like that. When she got the procedure, she got 3 procedures done. So she broke it down in small little chunks, which was awesome. And she actually drove herself home, which we don't recommend that stuff anymore, especially at 82. But she was a firecracker. She wanted to fit in, look better in her bathing suit because she swam every morning. So motivation, inspiration. It starts right there, right? But there is no too old. It's all about being healthy. So if you're in good health, your body can handle this procedure, then by all means you should get it if you want it. I tell you, all of our patients that are older will say, they always say, why didn't I get this done before? It's almost like a regret, because the results are awesome, and you'll be able to experience the awesome results for the rest of your life. So why not get it at a younger age and have those awesome results and that confidence that comes with it? Why not have that for a longer period of time? Is the tightening of the abdomen muscle a separate price? So that you're talking about like tummy tuck, and we don't do tummy tucks. And the plastic surgeon, most people don't really need that muscle tightened. It's just something the plastic surgeons sell you, and they go in there and they'll open you up and they'll tighten the muscle. But it's I don't know whether you need it or you don't need it. I don't want to say definitively, but it's for people that have ventral hernia. So when you have babies, the muscles here, fibers break up, and then in that case, you would call it bulging of the belly. But you can see by these pictures, a lot of these women don't have bulging of the belly like that. That's typically, it's ironically, it's something that men get is bulging of the belly, and it's not from weakness of the muscles. They get it because of the visceral fat, the fat behind the muscle. So, again, I don't know whether you're going to need the muscle repaired or not. That's for you to determine. But most of our patients don't require that, and that's why we're getting flat bellies. Okay, so Emily asks, what is front of the abdomen lipo? So you'll see some of these pictures here. This is the liposuction only of the front of the abdomen. Only of the front of the abdomen. So it takes out those big bellies. So the people that we're trying to talk to, or we're trying to attract here, are those larger individuals who have that big belly that's kind of hanging, folding over your pants or folding over your genital parts there. Your fupa, I guess they like to call it. So the front of the belly, as it gets bigger, comes out with gravity. Gravity starts pulling down and it folds over at the top and it starts to hang down. As it gets bigger and the time goes by, it hangs down further and further. So this can cause lots of problems with hygiene issues around the fold, and you got sweating, you got bacterial infections in the area because of the moisture and the warmth from the skins that are folded over. You got issues not fitting into clothes properly because you got such a big belly, so you start wearing more spandex. You got the back issues, so physical stuff. You got knee issues. You get it takes your breath away. So imagine if you're laying on your back, you got this big belly pushing down on your stomach, on your chest, and it so constricts your breathing. So I mean, there's so many benefits to the liposuction, particularly the front of the abdomen. I've seen so many amazing, life-changing results that, to me, I wanted to get more of those people. I wanted to help more of those people to change their life because I see what it does for people. So instead of, and here's the other thing, is you'll see a lot of the people that are asking, do we have BMI requirements and weight restrictions? Well, I know that the reason why those people are asking that is because they get turned down elsewhere. So the other doctors they have restrictive numbers and say if you're over a certain BMI, then you can't get this procedure, or they require you to get a tummy tuck, or they require you to lose weight, or whatever it is that they're trying to get you to do. But they have these restrictive numbers that they use for BMI or weight or whatever. So I suck fat for a living, and I've created this little audience of people that we've gotten amazing results with these large volume liposuctions. So sucking out a lot of fat, we make huge dramatic change. And so I started doing bigger and bigger patients and attracting these people, and the results just keep getting better and better. And you can see some of these people where they have these big belly, you can barely even see their underwear because their belly's folded over top. And then afterwards, the fold's gone. And there's no tummy tuck. And people are like, oh, wait, there's got to be a tummy tuck. Or she's covering it up with the underwear or the bathing suit, right? And she's not. She's not. And if you don't believe me, you should go communicate with her because she's on Facebook. And this is a picture that she posted publicly. So you don't have to believe me. But whenever you go to these plastic surgeons, they're going to tell you you need a tummy tuck. And all I'm saying now is just realize it's an opinion. That's all it is. It's just an opinion. And unfortunately, it's an opinion that they don't know any better because they've never tried something different. Because in plastic surgery training, they teach them to do tummy tucks. When these type of people come in, they're told they need a tummy tuck. And they tell the patients that you need a tummy tuck because if we do liposuction, you're just going to have an empty sack of skin. And you don't want an empty sack of skin, do you? Of course not. So we should do a tummy tuck. And so you sign up and you get a tummy tuck. And in most cases, it's because you don't know any better. No one told you that there was another option. No one told you that you can get liposuction and the results are the same, if not better, than a tummy tuck. Nobody told you. So that's why I think it's so important that if you find value in this, and this is like it blows you away, because it blows me away. I do this stuff every day, and it still blows me away. So if you find value in this, like, you got to share it with other people, because there's so many people that are out there and they're like hiding. They're embarrassed all the time. They're covering up. They're wearing spandex, and they're miserable. They're miserable, and you'll see it in their face. So share it with them. It's the right thing to do. Okay, Emily says, is the tightening of the abdomen muscle separate? Oh, we already answered that. Don't get fooled into the tummy tuck trap. Just keep watching these videos. You'll talk to some of our previous patients. It's a trap. Don't fall into it. Is there only one location? Currently, there's only one location. We're in Vegas. Short flight from anywhere. All right. Okay, 67 years old, on Social Security, too old and poor. Well, if you believe that, then you are, right? You are whatever you believe you are. But I can tell you there's other 67-year-olds that are, they're not in the same situation. So it's certainly that age is not too old. Okay. We have someone on YouTube saying that they needed to get a hold of our office. And it said the name is me, M-E. That's awesome. Okay, do you do BBLs? So yes, a BBL is a Brazilian butt lift. It's a terminology that we use for fat transfer to the butt. So fat transfer is where we take fat, so we liposuction fat out of the one area, like the abdomen. And particularly, I like to take fat around the waistline. So imagine like the individual's like a block of clay, and we're just taking all the stuff that doesn't belong there and carving out the shapes that we want. And so we're taking fat from this waistline up here, which then creates those arches and shapes however I want it, right? And so I have the control to do this type of thing on individuals and create this hourglass figure and the shape of the butt, which the shape of the butt has been something that's evolved over the years. And it's, I've definitely gotten better at it. And it's one of my favorite things to do. The treatment of the lower back area and taking out the fat and creating those shapes. I mean, it blows me away, right? How different we can make somebody look with just a simple thing as waving this wand around and sucking fat out, right? It's crazy. Oh, that's so sad. Raina, she said her friend just got surgery, disappointed. Her incision is very uneven. She feels like the doctor didn't take out that much fat. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I say this so many times. The plastic surgeons, so when they do the tummy tuck, they don't take out enough fat, and there's a reason for that. So this is their mindset. This is their belief. This is what they're thinking. So this is why we make all our decisions are because of the mindset that we're in at the time and the belief that we have at the time. So the belief that they have during their procedure is that when they cut the skin, so they do this big cut across the front here from hip to hip all the way across, and then they pull the skin down and they sew it back up. Well, with that huge incision, they need to get it to heal. And if it doesn't heal, then you have major complications after the tummy tuck surgery. So nobody wants those problems. So the belief is that if you do liposuction too much, liposuction damages and degrades the blood supply. And so if you damage and degrade the blood supply too much, and so what does too much mean, right? I don't know. But if you do it too much, it will make it so the wound won't heal. And that's the big fear. So out of fear, they take out less fat. which means to you, you don't get the results that you're looking for. And this happens, I'm telling you, it happens almost every time. Not just 1 or 2 times, almost every time. Which is great business for me because I fix so many of these people who they get the tummy tucks and a few years later they're like they can't take it because they're sick of it. They make them a box or they're pooching out on the sides. So I mean, I'm trying to tell people, look, it's free choice, right? You can make the choice that you want, and if you want to believe the story that they tell you that you have to get a tummy tuck, that you have to cut the skin away because you have an empty sac of skin, if you want to believe that crap, then you'll go do what they suggest, and that's cool. No harm, no foul, whatever, like do what you want. But once you realize that there's an option, now you have a choice, and that's empowering. Now you're empowered to make a choice and you can choose what's right for you, right? So we all have the choice. You can not do any procedure. You can, just do diet and exercise. You can try it that way. And the results, you'll see the people that get the results by doing it that way. And if you think you can do that, you should do it, right? You got to figure out what's right for your path. Getting a tummy tuck. Some people, man, what I've found is a lot of people, they were brought up through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and now they're in their like 40, 50 range, maybe late 30s even, but I think usually a little bit later, and they want to do something, but they believe that tummy tuck is the way to go. Like they need to get a tummy tuck. They were just told, oh, you need to get a tummy tuck, and so got a tummy tuck. This other lady got a tummy tuck, and it was so popular. Everybody's getting tummy tucks, but the problem is that the results suck. I mean, every once in a while they're good results, but the results suck for the most part. They don't get out enough fat. You got this huge scar that's nasty. In most cases, the scars kind of pooch out on the side. You get these dog ears, and it's a lot of sacrifice for getting thinner, in my opinion. And it doesn't have to be that way. And so that's what I'm trying to share, that information. So we can suck out the fat, and the belly retracts back without the tummy tuck. And it happens very often, and it's something that people just need to be aware of so they don't get caught like this lady that Raina was talking about in this situation where they go get this procedure, and now they're unhappy, they're having complications from the wound, and they didn't get enough fat out, so now they're gonna have to, if they want to get the results that they're looking for, now they have to go get liposuction and pay for another procedure. I mean, nobody wants to do that, right? Let's see. Okay, how far out are we booked? This month is kind of slow, just because of the holidays. I'm taking more time off, and I haven't really been pushing hard for this. But January's cleaning up, so we're filling up. So you can definitely get in early January. And now with Kale on board, our productivity has increased, and so we have the capabilities of helping more people. So there should never be. My intention is that there should never be a long wait to get these procedures from us. I know for me personally, so my personal peeve is I don't like to wait for things, and I think that once people make this decision that they want to get liposuction, that you don't want to wait. When you finally make the decision, you finally save up the money, you don't want to have to wait like 6 months or a year. That's crazy. So I want, ideally, to be in a situation where we should always be able to get you in within a month. That would be ideal. In some cases, that's not possible, but we do our best. Okay, did you guys offer payment plans? So our financing options, we have a company that we deal with. The information's on our website. There's a third-party financing company where you apply for the loan with them, and then they approve you, and then they fund the loan. And once we get the funds, and then we go ahead and move forward with the procedure. We also have like a layaway type program where you can make payments on a monthly basis, and then when you're paid in full, you can go ahead and move forward with the procedure. Okay. How soon can you get liposuction in the same area if you just had it done in June? So I'm assuming you went somewhere else, because I don't have to do that with my patients. This is a one-time procedure as far as I'm concerned. We get out the maximum amount of fat at the first time so you don't have to come back. So, but what if you go somewhere else? The question is if you go somewhere else and they don't get out enough fat and you want to get liposuction on the same area again, which to me is insane. Why would you want to, you would never want to get yourself into that situation where you would have to do that. So obviously, this wasn't a good situation for you, and you're unhappy with the results. Feel like they didn't get enough fat out of you, and you want it done again. So my recommendations in situations like that are to wait a minimum of 6 months. But you got to realize the reasoning why we're waiting after these procedures is there's an inflammatory response. So all that swelling, all that firm tissue that you have, if it's still firm, then it's going to be difficult for our instruments to get through. So 6 months to a year, and honestly, there's no right answer. I've had people that were 10 years out and it was really difficult. And other people that were, 6 months out and it was really easy. So it's dependent on the individual. If you're 6 months out, which I think you said you were from June, so it's almost 6 months out, sign up for a consultation and, we can take a look at it and discuss and, see if we can figure out something that makes sense. Okay, Marisol, is there a deadline on the contest, or not the contest, the special? So the deal is 20% off of the liposuction on the front of the abdomen only. So it's 20% off only the front of the abdomen. So we're trying to attract those people that are treating the larger individuals that are treating the front of the abdomen. Now, like say you're a smaller person, you're getting other areas treated. If the front of the abdomen is part of, like the 360 for example, you'll get the 20% off the front of the abdomen and the regular pricing on the other areas. And the deadline is you need to place the deposit to lock in the pricing by the end of this month, so by the end of December. Okay. Instagram, where are all my Instagram people asking questions? Okay, Miss Angeles, I weigh 215-ish. Do you recommend to lose some weight before the procedure? Will that make any difference to the results? Okay, so Miss Angeles, so do I recommend losing weight before this procedure? She was over 215 and she didn't lose weight, and so you see the results that she got. So that's what's possible. Now, I know it's the industry standard because all these other doctors have BMI restrictions and stuff. So I know it's the industry standard that they tell you need to lose weight and, be your ideal weight, whatever that bullshit means. So they tell you that stuff, but it's not necessary. And it's not necessary because I remove fat and I'm pretty damn good at it. So you bring me more, I'm just gonna remove more. Okay, I'm not scared. So 215 is not that big. We have patients that are 300 pounds and, that stuff's a little scary. But you can see we knocked that stuff out. You see how that belly was sticking out far beyond her breast? Go back to that picture. And in the after photo in the middle, just a week out, you can see she's still pretty swollen, but you can see her breasts are sticking out further than her belly. And then finally, look at how big those breasts look in the after photo. And that's the power of this liposuction. It creates these type of illusions. And that's where, like, when we do shaping of the butt, we can create the illusion and make your butt look a different shape just by taking the surrounding stuff away. And this is my art. This is what I do. This is the way my platform where I sculpt and I create, and I've been able to do this with patients time and time again, and I can do it for you. So 215, I won't bat an eye at that. You're not scaring me with that. So you want to get these kind of results, and this, again, she's way bigger than 215. So what's possible for you is a lot more, a lot better. And if you want a lot better and a lot more, and if you think that that's where your future is headed, is being better and better every single day, then this may be a part of your path. But I'll tell you what, if you don't add in the other stuff, if you don't add in the mental changes and you don't add in the disciplines and the eating the right foods and exercising and drinking plenty of water, if you don't add that stuff in conjunction with this type of procedure, then you're just wasting your money. So don't even bother. But the results are awesome. Doesn't matter. You want to lose weight, cool, I'll suck your fat out. If you don't want to lose weight, that's fine too. Okay, what if you have type 2 diabetes? That's actually very common. Since we treat larger individuals, the larger individuals tends to be one of the problems that they have. They have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. So it's actually, liposuction is actually very good for the diabetic profile. So it in removing all the fat, it improves the insulin profiles, and so all of your numbers will improve, whether that's the average blood sugars and the hemoglobin A1Cs. You may even notice that you're able to take less of your medication. However, you got to check with your doctor before doing that and make sure you test everything. But it is possible. I know quite a few of our patients that their medications have changed, either lessened or they were able to get off completely. It kind of just depends on what you're doing. But there's all, for diabetes in particular, there's a lot of lifestyle changes that you should have made already. But if you haven't, then that's an opportunity then for you to change your life and make a bigger difference. And by changing those things, it improves everything. We're looking for quality of life, right? We want to live longer, better, just everything in your life has to be better. If you're not trying to live a longer life, you're not trying to live a better life, you're not trying to be happier, you're not trying to be more confident, if that's not what you want, then maybe you're coming to the wrong place. Because my goal is to change your life and create this situation when you're able to thrive and do anything that you want, because it's all possible. Okay, what about removing fat on male breasts or boobs? So they call that gynecomastia when guys start growing boobs. That's something that I personally had an issue with, and I have personally had liposuction on the area, so it is possible. I know that for a fact. I've done plenty of them myself. In addition to my own procedure, I didn't do my own procedure, but I can tell you the results are awesome. And outside of work, it's hard to find me with my shirt on because I don't like having clothes on. It's hot out here in Vegas, but part of that is because I'm confident and I feel better. I feel like I'm confident in the way that I look, and a big part of that is because of the liposuction. All right, it is life-changing, says Elsie. Elsie had her procedure a while back. I know she had some awesome results. She was sharing her stuff on the private Facebook group. But and again, this is another patient. This is only the front of the abdomen. I think just the front on her is a little bit deceptive because you don't get that hourglass shape, and so the view from this might have been better from the side. I don't know if we have that side picture, but this was a pretty big belly. It's kind of hard for you guys to appreciate that in two-dimensional photos on these videos and stuff, but these are pretty large bellies, and we get out a tremendous amount of fat. And so there's individuals that are, they're always questioning us about how much fat we get out, but it's not about how much fat you get out. It's about getting it out in the right proportions in the right area and making it look the right way. And that's kind of really what we've mastered, is the ability to control the body through the actions that we take. And clearly there's no perfection at this skill, but it's something that we're always striving to be the best that we can be, and we're always trying to improve. So where we may have made mistakes in the past, the hope is that we've learned from those mistakes so we can make better results in the future. And this is just, it's unfreaking believable. It's unbelievable. And this is just like weeks apart, and you can completely change your body. And if any of you people know Audra, and you can follow her publicly, she posts all her stuff, and she's like on a weekly basis, just living the life and experiencing a different side of life. because the way that she acts now is she's acting as if she's this hot, thin, young, energetic individual who's motivated. That's who she's acting as if she is. And because of that, you start getting her looking like this. From this frumpy lady, I'm use that term loosely, and it's not a degrading term, but the difference is that she's amazing here, sexy, hot. Like, look at her strutting her stuff. She looks younger. She looks more confident. She looks happy, right? She's being who she is. She's experiencing that sexy that she's always felt, but she was never able to show. And so this gives her the opportunity to do the things that she's been, desiring to do. But when you're larger and you have restrictions, you're tired, you don't have the energy to do things, you miss out on a lot of your life. So at some point, these individuals, you get this feeling like, I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of feeling like I don't have energy to do anything. Like every day I work all day and I go home and plop myself on the couch, or I have to cook dinner, and it's like, it's the rat race. It's Groundhog Day. We're doing the same thing every day. I mean, I feel like Groundhog Day sometimes. But you got to change. If you want the world to change, you got to start changing. You got to do things differently. You got to change up your routines. You got to go different places. How many of us drive to work the exact same way every day? How many? I'm curious because, I know I do most of the time, but I consciously make an effort sometimes. I'm just going to turn the other way and go a different way, find a different path. And, I know that, when I take the same route, everyone else takes the same route too. So I see the same cars, and it's like, I'm a creature of habit, like, most of us are. And so I will be on the roads at exactly the same time, the exact same day. And so you see the same people, and I notice, I pay attention. And so I see the same people, same cars, stop at the same light, and it happens time and time again. So if you want to change your outcome, you got to change something that you do. So what I do as consciously as I consciously go a different direction. I take a different road, a different path. And when I do that, I see different stuff. And when you see different stuff, you may get inspiration from seeing something different. You might run into someone you haven't seen for a long time. You might, the potentials are totally different. That's what I'm trying to point out, is the potentials are different. If you choose a different path, the potentials are different. And now we're talking about driving to work, but apply that to your life. When there's something in your life that you're doing the same thing every day, what if you did something different? What does it do? It changes your potential. So you get a procedure like this, and you change dramatically. What does it do? It changes your potential. And now you have all kinds of potential to do different stuff. This hot, sexy young lady has a lot of potential to do a lot more fun things in this world. She used to pretend. She didn't have her heart into it. But look at this face. Look at her. Her hair's all done up. She's dressed up in whatever they call that thing. That one was the onesie or something. Romper.
She's showing off.
Yeah, whatever it is. It looks good. She's doing her thing, and that's confidence. That's confidence. I mean, you can't. What's that worth? What's that worth to people? What's it worth to feel good about yourself? To have energy, to feel like you're healthy again. Maybe it's been a long time, but when you start taking steps in a different direction, you start experiencing a different reality. And if you want to change your reality, you have to start changing the things that you do. And simple things like just driving to work differently will change a small fraction. And that's a start. Just do something different. If you have patterns that you stick to, so like many families, like when I grew up, we had a certain meal that we ate. The day there was meatloaf night, right? We expect that, and that's cool. You do that, and I just change it up. Change up whatever you can. Change up whatever you can, because you never know what changing something will do and affect all the world around you. And this is where the magic starts to happen, is because you don't know, you start experiencing miracles in your life. Things that like you would have never guessed would happen. Is like, that's amazing. You would have never guessed. But you have to start doing things differently. Or else if you don't do things differently, you just keep getting the same stuff. And your life is just repeating over and over and over, because we keep repeating. This is Blanquita. It's an awesome story. Mother of 7. And you'll notice how she's wearing that big baggy clothes, or I don't know what they call that, a sundress, which is nothing wrong. I think she looks great. It's a nice dress, but then the only time you wear stuff like this is when you feel better about yourself. The reason why she didn't wear it before is because she was insecure. So when you change your life, when you change something, and then all of a sudden you see yourself in a different way, because you're like, wow, I look good. Wow, I like my belly flat. I like that hourglass figure. I like it when my butt pops out. Cool stuff. But the choice is yours to make today, and you can change the rest of your life by a simple choice. So when you're ready, and only those who are ready, we have this 20% off the front of the abdomen. Changes everything. It's life changing. To get rid of that flap of fat hanging from your belly. It changes everything. And again, don't believe me, go to our group, talk to the actual patients. But 20% off the front of the abdomen is a huge discount. We don't do this. I'm really trying to encourage these type of people, because I know that the transformation, the whole life, the whole body transformation, it starts. This is the point. This is the point. And when you make that choice, it's a choice for the future. It's a choice for the better. It's a choice for you living your best life and living it now and starting now. Don't put off. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next year. Don't stop waiting, because there might not be a tomorrow. It might not come. So do what you're going to do, and do it now. Create the life that you want, because this stuff doesn't happen overnight. It happens quickly. These results are a couple weeks out, but they're still swollen. It takes time. And then your lifestyle changes. It takes time. All these things, it takes time. But you have to start. If you want to go somewhere, you have to start going somewhere. You have to start moving in one direction. It doesn't even have to be the right direction. You just have to start moving sometimes. And then you'll start figuring it out. So once you make the decision to do these procedures, the next step is getting your consultation. And the consultation for this, to take advantage of this for this special, the 20% off, you're going to need to do the expedited consultation, because you need to place a deposit before the end of the month. And once you place that deposit, you'll get the procedure in January. So by the end of January. So the next step is get that consultation. If you're interested in this and you want to take advantage of the 20% off, then you got to get that consultation. You got to put the deposit down by the end of this month. So there's a limited time. These are amazing. These people. Why would my patients, if it was so extremely painful for people, I'm jumping back to the pain thing. If it was so extremely painful for people, why would they come back for 4 or 5 procedures? Why would they come back for full body procedures? Either it doesn't hurt that much, or even if it hurts, they came back because the results are awesome. So you can kind of run with whatever you want to believe with that. But I can tell you that when people come back, the same people come back to the same office 3 or 4 times, it's because we're servicing them well, and we are taking care of our patients, and we're getting the results that we tell them. We do what we say we're going to do, and we get the results that the expected results. We get that regularly, and when we do that, the people come back. And I think that says a lot about us. That's a big thumbs up. And you might see whatever reviews you might see out there, you might see whatever comments you see out there, but you got to start looking at the truths, the real truths, that these patients, that you can go connect with these people directly. So don't fall victim to these things that you see that are not real. Don't fall victim to the myths that these plastic surgeons are trying to tell you, that you have to get a tummy tuck and there's no other option. Don't fall victim to that stuff. There are possibilities. There are opportunities. This is a different option. You have to choose. Make your choice. And if you choose the right choice, then you'll get the expected outcome. Hopefully, right? I mean, nobody really knows. We can't predict the future. We can only kind of go off of, what we've done in the past and hope that everything works out the best. And, we've done this thousands of times and we get great results. But it's amazing. No tummy tucks. No tummy tucks. And look you can go from, square shape to hourglass figure. And this stuff happens so quick. So quick. And some of you might be like, well, I haven't had an hourglass since I was in high school. Maybe never. And that's why it's life-changing. Because now all of a sudden you get to experience what it's like to be a person with that shape. And you may have, dreamed about it and, admired other individuals that had the shape that you were looking for. You may have, been desiring something for a long time, and then finally to be able to get it, it's like, it's like getting your dreams. It's like a dream come true, right? So that's, to me, what I'm looking to now, what I crave is creating these life transformation situations. So taking individuals that are right at that crux, right at that crossing point when they are so sick of being the way they are now, that they're willing to change, that they're willing to make a difference and a big impact on their life, and take that leap of faith. Because there's lots of unknowns, right? We don't know for sure what. We don't know for sure we're going to get these results. Nobody knows for sure, but you got to take that leap of faith. Why? Because many people have taken that same leap before you, and they've been successful. Many people. And you're seeing it time and time again. And if you're on the group, you're seeing it. They'll pop in. When we're doing procedures, they're popping in on a daily basis. You got new people that are jumping in and sharing their story, and they're there for you. All of them are there for you, to help you out and help you through this path and making this decision, making the right decision. That's the goal, is make the right decision for you to get the best possible results for your body type. And when you're ready, again, got to get that consultation. To know what your price is, to know what your potential discount is. You got to figure out what you want to treat and how much it's going to cost. So that's where the consultation is. We need to see pictures of you to give you those pricing. So send your pictures in after you click on the link. On our website, we have the links there. On Facebook, it's up in the posts there. On Instagram, it's up on our profile. So make sure you guys click on those links, get the consultation, and get your deposit in before the end of this month. So thank you very much for watching. Let's see, real quick, I'll run through if you guys had any other quick questions. Elsie says loving her results. Okay. Elsie says get it done, it's life-changing. Okay, there's Jackie seeing pictures of herself. Isn't it fun seeing yourself up there, Jackie? Just a little, it makes you feel like a little rock star, right? Yeah, Jackie says the pain ain't nothing when you look in the mirror and see the change. That's the real talk right there. And think about it like when you have babies and how painful it is, and I know that the girls always say, I'll never do that again. And then sure enough, a year or 2 years down the road, you're having another kid and another kid, and it is what it is, right? I mean, I know my wife did it, and so I'm sure there's lots of other women that did it, and just think of it, right? So that's how these people come back, and they get one procedure, and whatever their experience, whether it was painful or not painful, when they look in the mirror, they're like, the results are worth it, and they're not finished. There's more to go. And so they push through and they get more done. This young lady had, what, 2, 3 procedures. She had her arms done, her chin done. See how her face has changed. You see her arms have changed. She also had her abdomen done. And I think I want to say she might have done fat transfer to the butt. Don't remember. But, you know, big change. And it's a big difference. I mean, she looks like a different person. So that can be you. And the cool thing is when you act like a different person, because you can change everything. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back next week.
That was a great example.